Hi guys, and welcome back to Owl003, where I'm mapping the matrix one target at a time. Today, the target for you is move to optimum position and describe the primary life form, which is Stephen Hawking, and event as it unfolds. And this is Stephen Hawking, 0G above Earth, 2007, past event. Before I get into this, as if by intelligent design, I was just talking to my friend Theo about the moon, and my intention initially, for just so you guys know, for this particular episode was to do just a full stage 6 session on something out of a target pool that was like super verifiable and all this and that. So usually when I draw out of a target pool, I kind of expect a relatively, mundane flavor, right? Not the case this time. So before we go into this, again, I want you guys, like if you're a remote viewer, I want to be wrong with some of this stuff. Because as my training just tells me, to just put down what comes in. So please, by all means, try this target and give me something different. Because I don't want to believe this stuff. I really don't. Because it just doesn't look good for us, okay, if this happens to be true. So, I'm just going to get into it. So I'm getting a structure, I'm getting a life form. Gray speckled. AOL break woman, AOL break grizzly. Okay, sloping damp, wet, grassy, echoey. AOL break landing. Sloping rounded edged. AOL break airplane. AOL break Amelia Earhart. AOL break grounded. Silver and old. AOL break wreckage. Safety of a narrow cast, tight squeeze. I think I came back to do an AI break because I think I was slipping so hard into it I wasn't realizing what was happening. So, yeah, interested. Okay, so I actually drew this upside down, this sketch, and I turned the paper back around. Something I do every once in a while. A little right brain sketching, but so I've got this basically looks like a rocket launch. So at this point, it looks like one would think I'm on target, right? AOL break pilot license. AOL break clipped. Now, I seem to be jumping around here a bit. So now I'm with this guy. He, it basically looks like something out of like a Star Wars, like fighter or something, type of thing. But anyway, so I feel secluded. I got this feeling of signal like hunkered down. Someone felt alienated. AOL break whistleblower. This feels war related. Okay. So I'm getting all these. So like I'm trying to sort all this out because I'm getting all this AOL via Kong. I know that's not it. I'm hearing like Mayday, Mayday going down. Whispering voices. Okay, so now at this point, and I'm getting an image of this guy being helped, like, handled, like, this way, and AOL signal guerrilla warfare. Red or green, red stripes. Okay. Like Asian. Okay, so I hear a foreign language being spoken here. Sense of a male soldier. So I get this idea of an escort. Like subservient behavior. AOL like following orders. Close quarters, tight spaces. Okay, so now this sketch here You mind taking a look at this? So I get the sense that it's almost like this guy's being shown something and he wants his expert opinion type of thing, okay? And I get this idea of a conversation piece. AOL orders. Orders to carry out and follow to the letter. Supply and ordnance. AOL signal, weapons, max destruction. Okay. Show me what's most noteworthy here. Destructive, right? So I'm getting atomic weaponry. So I'm like, what is going on here? So strange. Okay. Like, let's try it and see what shakes out. Okay, so I'm getting a sense of an impact crater. So destructive application associated with this target. Turbulence and wind resistance. Okay, so my sense is there's some kind of crash involved in this, all right? And I was trying to work that out. I'm like, what's, because I'm getting, this whole time I'm getting thoughts of like the moon, like it can't be, no. But I'm like, I figured I'll just see how it plays out. Maybe it just doesn't work out. Okay, so who cares? So, turbulence and wind resistance, downward spiral, escape velocity. I keep hearing mayday, mayday. AOL signal, perish all who enter here. So my suspicion would be, is he, and you'll see in the data here later, but that they were doing kind of a flyby to look at this crashed craft, so it's interesting because I'm, this feels like a hot target almost, like which is weird to me because it's, like I'm thinking, like you can just feel you're getting drawn in and pulled in and all these big data points, so it feels like something's here, right? So I got the sense this is in the past. It didn't feel all that long ago, but I knew it was, behind us. Okay, uniformed soldiers. Like uniformity required. A settlement. I got a sense of a settlement. Like something about this something about this feels task oriented. Okay, like what they're doing is a task. Okay. Now I got this idea of criminal trespass, and considering where the target is, I don't know what that's about, but it could be anything. So, databasing, like mismatched soldiers. So that was an interesting thing. It was like you had one faction of one kind and one, So I get this idea of a tactical advantage, a missile launch site. Open. I got this idea of, or that's an AOL, Hollow Earth. I'm going in. Okay. So again, this really, I could have broken this up and really taken this apart piece by piece, and I really should have, considering how interesting the target was. But I just thought I must be off base. And then maybe I am. I don't know. But I sense there's something here. That's why I'm asking other viewers out there to throw this in your target pool and prove me wrong, please. Because there's some targets you hope you're wrong about. I hope this is wrong. I hope this is not the case. So by all means, prove me wrong. This sense of retaliation. So this whole thing, okay, all this was like felt like some kind of like under the umbrella of some kind of retaliation. Ready weapons hunt. Okay, so again, so I've got this guy who's basically dead in a ship or something, or a plane, the type of thing. And I feel like I'm going through that action. Like there's a crash, because I kept getting crash debris, crashed item, crash debris, So I think this is my subconscious trying to work this out. And again, as you go through the session, like if I had taken a break, come back to this another time, it's kind of like you're running it through the filters every single time. So I run this like 3 separate occasions. By the time I'm done, I could really pick out the best of it and then leave the rest. But again, I want to see what other people get out of this. Like broken or snapped off, like a search and rescue operation. Strange and aloof. Stage 4.5. Event relation to topography. There was something about the topography here that was of interest. Metrics and triangulation. Wreckage and debris. Dusty. Coming up short. Like just missing the mark. It was almost like, this almost feels like a trap. So here's what it felt like to me. So it's almost like they were trying to get a good look at this thing, and they got a little too close and were warned to go away, type of thing. I mean, that's kind of what it felt like. So, like just missing the mark. But again, it's like this crashed craft almost felt like bait. Like, come on, see what's there. And then boom, we'll take you out. Like bait on a hook. Okay, then I got a sense of like a big door, like a shunt. Okay. Tangibles. A radar beacon. Okay, now this was weird. So identify yourself. Like the message coming through, like identify yourself. Okay. I'm sensing a very confined area or space, like threading the needle. So again, I'm picking up on this subsurface aspect to this target. AOL, like launching a missile at the hollow moon. So I'll show you when we get there, but okay, so I get a sense of high stakes, weapons testing, launch codes, ringing sound, vibratory resonance. And again, my subconscious in my mind is just going, moon, moon, moon. The vibratory resonance, I'm getting an AOL of when they sent a rocket to the moon and it rang like a gong. And then when I was getting an AOL for the rocket, like I was getting like the JFK speech, we choose to go to the moon and do the other thing. Like that's my AOL. So I know, like it's just my whole subconscious is just like, this is all moon. So, classified documents associated with this. What's absolutely pertinent to this tasking? Justice and ingenuity. Feeling resolve, like you get what you deserve. So again, I'll tell you just how it feels. It's like it's almost okay. Because let me tell you this. So I also got the block. Okay. So it was associated with the targets, and to me it meant like the block, like the country's the block. But to me it was as if there's two kind of this underground aspect of this happening, and there's two kind of sides to it, at least. And this whole thing with putting Stephen Hawking there it was kind of like, I don't know, like kind of like rubbing it in their face or tempting fate. It was weird. Like two could play at that game. And so mission control. Oh, so I'm getting corporate espionage associated with that. So there you go too. So I get this guy monitoring. Have a nice flight. Mission control. Flight log. My tangibles. AOL in Nepal, baboons. So here was interesting. And I don't know what's going on here, but I think I'm trying to pick it all up. I'm trying to pick up the whole target, and I'm trying to squeeze it into 19 pages. Okay, so I'm just going to give you the raw data. In this sketch, I actually put in my AI, I was like, this is weird. I feel like I'm inside a large enclosed space, okay? But there's like foliage and shit, like tree, like something like almost like a jungle. But then there's like technology around. It was strange. And then there's that ship there. Seems to be flying around or landing. I don't know. So anyway, um, so again, retaliatory, like taking it up a notch. Again, see, I said weird. This all feels strange to me. So I kept getting stars, night sky, like it was all around me. I keep saying, sorry. But again, feeling of espionage. So now, this is what I was talking about. So I get this idea of a drop zone, acquisition, like trying to rescue someone and getting caught dead in your tracks. Corporate espionage. Okay, so again, especially this picture, it's like they were trying to check out this ship or something, and they're like, you got to get the hell out of here. There's operations running up here. Now, that little rectangular space, it reminded me, like I'm seeing it, like this is just, like, there's some footage somewhere of supposedly this image on the moon of this rectangular little black square where stuff's coming in out of, and I felt like that's what I was looking at. I'm like, this looks just identical to that. And I sensed the hidden entrance. Man, well, Mars related. Okay, this has an episodic feel to it, which, considering how tasks make sense, this feels highly impactful. AOL Space Race. I had a sense of a host, an intermediary, or an advisor to this. Okay. AOL Signal, like making a splash, private first class, mission ready. AOL Signal, landing on the moon. The guy. I get the impression of a mission statement associated with this. And this is when I was getting that AOL of like the Kennedy thing. Someone was sequestered to do this. Some AOL and all this stuff. There's a sense of urgency to this. It's a crash victim. The sense of survival. Like a flyby. This idea of a war-torn country. Missile storage, wind resistance, flight speed aeronautics, mission ready, mission testing, subsurface structure, like a mission statement. A heavily armed armada, AOL Blue Angels. AOL Signal, like tucked away for special occasions, like a course correction. Got the sense of an engagement and gentrified. Border Patrol. Launch sequence override. Ooh. Maybe they were going to throw something at him, or maybe they were going to launch something at him and they warned him off, and maybe they did. Because I did get a sense like somebody was pulling up. So my sense would be, it seems like they got warned off. I am sensing ideal weather conditions for this. Okay, makes sense. Like the perfect time to strike. Heavy artillery here. Tracking and dark skies. Okay, again. A weapons trade agreement. AOL Warsaw Pact. Like rocket trajectory. This feels like an H-bomb. That's AOL. Weapons testing. The block. bombardment and a delay in communications. I feel high above Earth. AOL space satellite, AOL Chinese weaponry, AOL Asian military presence. Okay, like foreign aid, a foreign presence. That's the foreign presence. Okay, weapons testing observation, sense of justification. Now this came in a lot. AOL signal, spaceship Earth, societal impact and association. Oh, there's an association with societal impact about this. I get a sense of a foreign aid association with this. Supersonic speeds, big boom. Okay, target is an event that feels to be a past event. Target consists of land structures and an aerial assault. I have the impression of this being war-related and foreign aid involvement. I get the impression there is an Asian culture involved. And that, you know, I don't know. That that may be actually something else. But whatever. I felt someone was shot down during this event. I have crash debris and feeling of being alienated. I heard whispering voices around me. I get the impression of male soldier and an escort. I get the impression of tight spaces, subservience, and following orders. Supply and ordnance associated with this. This feels destructive, atomic weaponry, and an impact crater. There is a destructive application associated with this target. Turbulence, wind resistance, a downward spiral, and escape velocity associated with this event. I detect a settlement, uniformed soldiers, and task-oriented attitudes. There is a missile launch site and a tactical advantage here. There is projectile weaponry here, and a retaliatory act. Someone here has crashed and sustained a neck injury. Feelings of diabolical and impending doom. There is debris here. This event relates to an anomalous topography, wreckage, metrics, and triangulation. Feelings of aggression. A fuselage and a radar beacon, and a very confined space. There is a subsurface aspect to this target. High stakes weapons testing and launch codes. Booming sounds and a vibratory resonance. I feel classified documents are associated with this event. Justice, ingenuity, and with a feeling of resolve. I sense night sky all around me. AOL Hollow Earth come in quite frequently. I get a sense of espionage tied to this. Hold on. Grassy jungle, secluded environment around me. There's a hidden entrance here and an episodic feel to what is happening. There's a host, intermediary, and an advisor here. I feel someone has made a bold mission statement associated with this event. I hope that's not me. There is a sense of urgency to this. This is planned, and someone here is sequestered to serve a purpose. A crash victim, survival, and a war-torn country are involved in this. Missile storage, wind resistance, high-speed avionics, and missile testing happening here. There is a subsurface structure and a heavily armed armada. I get an overall sense of a close call. Engagement, gentrified, border patrol are associated with this. Ideal weather conditions and heavy artillery, beeping sounds, tracking, and a weapons trade agreement. I sense an H-bomb and weapons testing and observation. There is a societal impact to this event. Big booms and supersonic speeds. Session end. Okay. Now, I'm just going to be straight up because I've seen stuff like this over. I don't want to see this, so please do it. Please work this target. Please work this target and bring back something completely different. Because if all this is, if this I've been trying to push this whole thing back as hard as I can, but over and over and over, I'm seeing this, and none of it looks real positive, to be honest with you. That's what I got, guys. Bring something else. Show me something else, please. But that was my session as it pertains to Stephen Hawking's visit to the moon, or boat flyby, whatever. Let me know what you got. We'll catch you next time, all right?